Great Britain's history began when Wales joined England in 1535. They were brought together because of Henry VIII's two laws. After that, England and Scotland joined together in 1707 through the Act of Union under the name of Great Britain. Finally, Northern Ireland joined Great Britain in 1921. To this day, Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland are the four countries that constitute Great Britain. The area of history I decided to focus on was the split between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. They split because of their differing opinions on whether or not they should be a part of the UK, and they also had religious differences. The Republic believed that they should be separate because of their nationalistic views, and nationalists were typically Catholic, and Northern Ireland believed that they should stay together because of their unionist beliefs, and unionists were typically Protestant. And that was what caused the split.
Under Edward III, the 100 Years' War with France had begun. Notable victories by Edward, the Black Prince, son of Edward III, Henry IV, and Henry V led to no permanent gains for England, and ultimately the English were driven out of France. The plague known as the Black Death broke out in England in 1348, wiping out up to 1/3 of the population. It hastened the breakdown of the feudal system and the rise of the towns. For England, the 14th century was a time of confusion and change. Under Henry VIII, the Act of Union made English the legal language and abolished all Welsh laws. In 1531, Henry separated the Anglican Church from Rome and proclaimed himself its head.
The Industrial Revolution started in 1760, continuing into the 18th century. The lives of large sections of the population of Great Britain underwent massive changes during the Industrial Revolution. Work became more regimented and disciplined and began to take place outside the home. The creation of machines like the steam engine and combustion engine increased productivity in factories and agriculture.
My current event is Brexit. Brexit is how the UK wants to leave the EU. It's scheduled to occur on the 29th of March in 2019. The EU and UK need to agree on what happens to UK citizens who live elsewhere in the EU, how much the UK owes the EU, and what happens to the border of Northern Ireland. The transition period will occur between March 2019 and December of 2020. The transition period is meant to allow for citizens to adjust to the new rules of Brexit. Brexit is intended to help the UK's economy.
The wedding of the new Duke, Prince Harry, and Duchess Meghan Markle of Sussex occurred at Windsor Castle in London on Saturday, May 28 of 2018. This is an important moment in history because the bride is American, which has never happened before. There are more than 100,000 people lined down the streets of Windsor to see the special event.
In Manchester, the 22 people killed in the terror attack at the Ariana Grande concert were children and parents when a terrorist detonated a bomb at the end of the concert on May 22, 2017. Witnesses told how nuts and bolts went flying in the blast and how fans made their way to Manchester Victoria train station next door to the concert venue. It affected not only the victims but also the families and the whole country.
In Scotland, some famous painters were George Paul Chalmers, William McTaggart, John Petty, and William Quiller Orchardson. They used color and lines and had an inventive approach to subject matter. It became a distinct new flourishing Scottish period of art. In more recent years, some painters have been Stephen Campbell, Stephen Conroy, Peter Howson, and Ken Curie. In the 1980s, there was a revival and interest of ambitious figures paintings found a center in the prodigious talents. The 18th century also had a lot of poetry, including Robert Burns' Afton Water. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes, flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise. My Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream, flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream.
Northern Ireland's Art Council is officially charged with encouraging all aspects of arts. Local councils also devote a proportion of their budget to the arts. Francis Bacon was an Irish-British figurative painter known as his bold, emotionally charged, raw imagery. He is best known for his depictions of popes, crucifixions, and portraits of close friends. Here is a recreation of his piece, Figure in a Landscape. As you can see, it has a very distinct style that is profound compared to other artists.
English art made after the formation in 1707 of the Kingdom of Great Britain may be regarded in most aspects simultaneously as art of the United Kingdom. Medieval English paintings, mainly religious, had a strong national tradition and was influential in Europe. A poet named T.S. Eliot wrote a poem called Morning at the Window. They are rattling breakfast plates in basement kitchens, and along the trampled edges of the street, I am aware of the damp souls of housemaids, sprouting despondently at area gates. The brown waves of fog toss up to me, twisted faces from the bottom of the street, and tear from a passerby with muddy skirts, an aimless smile that hovers in the air and vanishes along the levels of the roofs.
One of the most interesting things I learned about these countries is their connectedness despite being separate. One of the most important things I learned about was Brexit and about how the UK is leaving the EU, and what its effects will be on the current economy. What I admire about these countries is their diverse cultures that are within them. I really want to visit London because I've already been there and I really love the culture and architecture.
I learned that all these countries have a lot of rich culture, and when they made the UK, they learned to work together to be powerful and successful. I admire how successful they were in new advancements in the past and how they kept on being successful until today. Their diversity is what I noticed about this country, and I admire how they come together to make all their cultures fit into one country. If I were to travel to the UK, I would visit London because I really like the city and all the history it has to offer.
The most significant thing I learned about Great Britain was their use of art after and before their unification. The thing I admire the most about the country is their dedication for change, like the Industrial Revolution. If there's anything you should know about, is that their food is really, really bad, except for their fish and chips. If there's a place I'd like to visit, it would be Wales, because it's very pretty, and I want to see if there's actually whales there.